Hello my friends, and welcome back to another video and to my kitchen. Today we're going to be making 3 new breakfast options, starting with a tropical blend smoothie. So into our blender we're going to add about 1.5 to 2 frozen bananas, approximately a cup of frozen fruit. I used a tropical blend that I just picked up from the grocery store, about a teaspoon of maca powder, which is optional, but I like to add it into my diet these days, and then a 1/4 cup of plant milk. And then we're gonna blend this until it creates that awesome smoothie bowl consistency. Now, the thing they don't show you on YouTube and Instagram half of the time is how challenging it is to actually get that consistency. I had to turn my blender down to like a 3 and very slowly blend and tamper and then kind of scrape it along the sides. It did take quite a bit of time, but as you can see, as I continued on this process, eventually it did start to soften and swirl, and I think it just kind of depends on how frozen your fruit is, and you don't want to add too much milk because then it's not really like a scoopable consistency, but just stick with it, and as you work with it, it really tends to soften. So as you can see, I did achieve that nice thick consistency for the smoothie bowl, and I just scooped it out of my blender using a metal spoon, smoothed it out, and then added my toppings of choice. And you can really do whatever you want with this smoothie, customize the fruit, customize the toppings. I've really been liking putting some granola on top of my smoothie bowls, and then I sprinkled a little bit of chia seeds and then also some coconut flakes, toasted coconut flakes for this one because that's what I had. And then I had some fresh raspberries that I wanted to use, so I topped that off with that. And this was a really great, refreshing way to start the day. And then next up we have an overnight oats. And I wanted to do just like a really basic overnight oats, and I think I might do a video in the future where we do like some building on this basic recipe, but essentially we just need some oats. For 1 serving, I did 1/2 cup of rolled oats, a pinch of salt, about a tablespoon of chia seeds, and a splash of vanilla, and then top that off with about 3/4 cup of plant milk. Then give that a stir until everything is nice and combined. And then at this point, I realized that I forgot to add sweetener, so you can add about a tablespoon or so of sweetener of choice. I chose to do agave today, and just to note, agave is a little bit sweeter, so I did like a little less than a tablespoon. And then I like to add cinnamon into everything, so I added a sprinkle of cinnamon in here as well. Topped it off with about a 1/2 cup or so of frozen raspberries, and that was it for this one. Let it sit in the fridge overnight, or at least for an hour to set up, and this stays good in the fridge for a few days, so this is definitely a great option to meal prep. Then jumping into our final recipe, which is a savory recipe, we are doing breakfast burritos. This is a little bit more time consuming, but it's nice to have on hand, also works great for meal prep. So I took about 644 grams of golden potatoes, diced those up pretty small, and added them into a pot of water, filled it so they were covered, added some salt, and put this on the stove. Bring this up to a boil and heat them until they're about fork tender. Meanwhile, while those were cooking, I cooked up some tofu scramble, which I made in a previous video, so I will link that below along with the recipe. And this is going to be the protein source for our burritos. And then back to our potatoes. Once they're boiling, I think I said already, but about 10 minutes, let them boil or so, just until they're fork tender. Remove them from the heat and drain them off. And then optionally, you can add about a tablespoon or 2 of cornstarch. I find this just helps get them a little bit crispier, along with a drizzle of olive oil, and then 1 to 2 tablespoons or more to taste of a breakfast blend seasoning spice, which I made this in a previous video, so I will will link that in the description box and in the cards as well. Toss to combine and then add that onto a baking sheet, and then we're going to bake this in the oven for about a half an hour, flipping halfway through. And I baked it at about 400, but 375 would work too. Just keep an eye on it because oven temperatures may vary. And then at the halfway point, I added in a little bit of diced onion and pepper just to kind of add some more veggies into these wraps. And then once everything was done, now we could start assembling our burritos. And these are really customizable. You can add more veggies or salsa or sauces. I had just a tiny bit left of this mozzarella plant-based cheese, so I added that onto my burrito first and heated in the microwave just to melt it. Added my toppings along with a little bit of chopped spinach and a drizzle of barbecue sauce. And then I just kind of rolled this up, fried it, and served it as it was. These are really nice to make in advance because you can store them in the fridge for a few days or store them in the freezer. So this makes for a great meal prep option. I also like to use just a little bit of water when I'm sealing the burritos. I find that it stays together a little bit better when I'm making multiple burritos. I don't have to worry about them unfolding while I continue to roll. So again, we'll just fry this up and it is ready to serve. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments section below which recipe was your favorite, or if you have some more go-to easy breakfast recipes that you would like to see me make. And I just want to say that I really appreciate you being here and watching this video. It really means the world to me. If you liked this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel. And if you really liked it, I don't know, maybe giving it a share, tell your friends, because I'm really enjoying creating content here on YouTube, and I would love to continue to do so. So I will let you guys go with that. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye for now.